Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We started a week ago Saturday with 32 of the finest players on the planet, and by the end of tonight, only 8 will remain. So far, 2 champions, a finalist, and 3 qualifiers have made the quarters. Time to find out who'll be joining them here at the climax of Day 10 at the Kazoo World Snooker Championship. Please welcome a player closing in on a 5th Crucible quarter-final, 9 years after lifting the big one in spectacular style. He looks to be right back to his break-building best. Winner of 6 ranking titles in all, Stuart "Ball Run" Bingham. And his opponent, a player who has rediscovered his love of the game, and it showed with his first-round win over Ding in a brilliant decider. Without doubt, one of the most exciting players of his generation. Bidding for his 2nd Crucible quarter-final, the jackpot, Jack Lisowski. And now to one of the all-time greats, bidding for an 18th Crucible quarter-final 28 years after his first. 4 times a champion of the world, the 3rd most decorated player in history, the pride of Scotland, the Wizard of Wishaw, John Higgins. And finally, with 6 big titles in the last 2 years, he is without doubt one of this season's outstanding performers. 4 frames away from a 6th Crucible quarter-final. Provisional world #1, the pride of Northern Ireland, Mark the Pistol Allen.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Big night of snooker here at the Crucible as the quarter-final lineup is completed. Jack Lisowski and Stuart Bingham resuming, with Bingham holding a 9-7 advantage. He won the first session 5-3. Yesterday was a pretty tense affair. He won the last 2 to get a 9-7 overnight lead, so he needs 4. Lisowski needs 6 to take on the 7 times champion and tournament favourite Ronnie O'Sullivan in the quarter-finals. It's been quite a long wait since O'Sullivan and Karen Wilson both came through earlier today, but 2 close matches for this Crucible crowd and everyone else to enjoy. As Lisowski just catches the ping. Yeah, there were times yesterday where Lisowski really went on the attack, but he was leaving chances. We heard Rob Walker talk about Stuart Bingham's being at his break-building best, but actually in this match, he hasn't really made that many breaks, just a couple of half-centuries, so maybe there's an opportunity for Lisowski this evening, but obviously he himself is going to have to produce the goods. It promises to be very exciting. Dominic Dale is going to enjoy it all with me. Good evening, Dom.
A very good evening, David. I am going to look forward to this. One of the most unpredictable conclusions you could ever try to forecast, really. I think a lot depends on Jack Lisowski. I thought, as you say, Stuart was far from his best yesterday and yet came out 4-4. So maintains that 2-frame advantage. That's a nervy one from Stuart. But Jack Lisowski, some of his shot choices, goodness me. He will be all-out attack, Jack. It doesn't seem that he ever plays any differently to that, but he'll need a good ball run as well, because if he does make mistakes, if he gets away with them, he may find a way back into this match. He's going to have to play near his best because he's so attacking.
One.
That red struggled in, but these pockets are not generous. He's in first this evening, looking to just settle back into this match. They've had a whole day, of course, since the last session. Aiming to reach a second quarter-final here. He was at that stage 2 years ago where John Higgins beat him in a decider.
Hasn't finished badly for Jack. There's a red to the centre pocket as well, which he could run through for the pink 4 in the opposite centre. Actually, the pink may not go, but being left-handed, he's okay. But he's potted the red on the thick side to the cue ball. He's considerably short of good position on the black, and if he takes this black on, well, even for somebody like Jack, it's as missable as it is potable. Look how thin that is.
Yeah, in the end, he's overcut it. I don't think there was any doubt he would take it on. That's how he plays, but they've got to go in, I guess, more regularly, these difficult ones. Of course, he won the first 2 frames of the match in no time at all, a couple of 80-odd breaks. And at times he played really nicely yesterday, but a couple of frames, not least the last one, of course. I mean, that it could have been a respot, and he was going for doubles and all sorts. But there's only 2 in it, and it's a tense evening. Big prize to play O'Sullivan, and, of course, just to be in the last 8 of the World Championship. You know, you look around, the field has thinned out. You start to fancy a chance. Stuart Bingham, of course, knows all about that. He won here in 2015.
One.
Well, that's exactly what Jack Lisowski needs to see more of from Stuart Bingham, mistakes like that. The red was far from a certainty, and he just avoided the cannon intentionally on that red near the side cushion. But that cue ball just carried a bit of side spin, came off the side cushion quickly. Stuart could still cut this brown in. It's another very testing cutback, as Jack's was on the black.
Five.
Stuart Bingham aiming for a 5th appearance in the quarterfinals here. It's been a poor season by his standards, but if you're going to come good anywhere, of course, this is the place. Another packed Crucible this evening. We had a quick afternoon session. I don't think the same will be true of this evening's play.
6.
Well, if the pink goes to the left centre, Stuart would certainly choose that in favour of the black, which is much more difficult.
So, Lisowski's Mr. Black, Bingham Mr. Pink. As I say, they've had a whole day in between sessions and inevitably a few nerves. It was interesting, actually, because we get to see on the feed before we start the chat in the corridor, and Stuart Bingham was chatting to Mark Allen in the tournament office, and it's always fascinating. They're basically not talking about anything important. They were talking about where they get the shirts, and it was just a very banal conversation because they don't want to acknowledge the elephant in the room, which is they're both playing massive matches tonight. So it was just chit-chat to fill time before they get into this wonderful theatre and start work.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, Dave. You're absolutely right. Sports psychologists call it avoidance strategy, taking your mind off it. But as long as you practice, as long as you put the work in, it's a good thing to do.
7. 8. 13. 14.
I think we know what Lisowski's approach will be. It's what it always is. It's just to attack. So it's just whether he finds a sufficient level tonight. Played very well in round 1, of course, against Ding. It was 10-9, but they both played superbly. And he held his nerve brilliantly. So he's already come through one close match.
Just too much backspin on the cue ball there. As it was coming down the table, it was travelling too close to the red, to the right of the cue ball, which is the one he wanted to be on. And he finally plays a safety shot. Well, that cue ball's a long way off the baulk cushion. Stuart could attempt this red. It's the only one he could leave. He could stun the cue ball down for the black into the same pocket.
Yeah, his long game hasn't been great in the match. Yesterday, at one point for the session, it was only 15%, and down in the 40s in a match of this length would not be considered great. Lisowski at about 60%, 6 out of 10.
There wasn't much room for this red to pass the other one into the centre pocket, but I don't think he's done any harm by missing it. This first frame's huge, isn't it? 10-7 relieves some of the stress and anxieties of Stuart Bingham, but 9-8 will increase the pressure on both players.
This could be a night for oohs and ahs, I think. There'll be a lot taken on between these two. So far, neither's quite been able to take control of the frame.
One.
It's a big first frame, obviously settling down again, but also scoreline. I mean, if Bingham wins it 10-7, suddenly he's looking good.
Stuart just put all his efforts into the pot on this red. It was more difficult than it appeared. He could have done with just grazing that green. This brown again is a thin cut back. So positionally he'll have to be careful because there aren't many reds in open play here. Wow. He's on a red to the right centre, one to the right corner, but I don't think he's ideally on either of them. Perhaps the one to the right corner's best. He could perhaps get onto the pink from that. But you can see it's quite a severe cutback.
6. Twelve. 13.
I wonder if Stuart will try to bring a red into play here with the angle he has on the pink. He can punch the cue ball through and develop one of the awkward reds. He'll certainly look to do that now from the angle he'll intend to leave on the pink to the left corner.
19.
Well, that was not middle of the pocket, was it? It's just a couple of deep breaths as he walks around the table here. In off the jaw.
Oh, I didn't think that was in.
Still a lot of work to do here, where the remaining reds are.
26.
Now he's perfectly on the pink to try to develop the red that's closest to the middle pocket. Beautifully played, beautifully judged. But still work to do. He's only 18 ahead, so he probably needs both of the remaining
33.
awkward reds, so he'll do really well to win this frame from here.
34.
This won't be easy for Stuart. He just got in behind that red too much. So the red is very potable, but positionally it won't be easy to get nicely on the pink. Just having the cue ball cleaned. Could always leave a double on that tricky red if he wishes. Stuart will be best pleased with this.
48.
The double is on, but I think he'll have to play it at quite a bit of pace because of the angle he's left himself. No, didn't like it in the end, just a safety shot.
Stuart Bingham 48.
But it's a good one.
Well, we mentioned his long game hasn't been that great in the match, but this would be a great one to knock in, wouldn't it, for Stuart Bingham, because it would win him the frame, barring snookers. This is effectively for 10-7. And in it goes. Well, they each had a couple of chances early on, but Stuart Bingham looks like he's 3 frames clear. would have liked that in.
Stuart
You
Bingham
know, it's
1.
another 7 points, and it would have stopped any playing on, but just that little bit of, little bit of doubt now. As Lisowski, he needs 2 snookers, but of course he comes back to the table. Even just missing a ball like that's not going to give him any good feelings.
2. Lisowski 2.
But that ends any doubt. Well, he'd sort of fallen away, and he was experimenting with glasses. He had a very poor 2024 coming in. Barely played any snooker. But here at the Crucible, where he's a former champion, he's 3 frames from the quarterfinals. He leads Jack Lisowski 10-7. So Lisowski in deeper trouble, 10-7 down. First to 13, a couple of big frames coming up pre-interval. Big prize, of course, to take on Ronnie O'Sullivan here. Stuart Bingham beat him in the quarterfinals in 2015. And Lisowski would have played him in the semis 2 years ago had Higgins not won that decider.
That's a good safety from Jack. He's opened a few reds up as well. I think that will benefit him. The more tactical this match is, the more it benefits Stuart, you feel. And there is a mistake, the red going over the corner, and Jack will be able to see it. Just needs to control the cue ball for position on the colour, and then he should be away.
One.
Well, Jack tried to cannon the red to the left of the black there to be on the black. Rather adventurous, but just needed that cue ball to slide a little more off the top cushion for him. But the fact that he's landed in amongst the reds now, he has a very tricky safety shot to play, it seems.
Rainbow, thank you.
Well, he's nominated Brown. Getting the hand in is the hard bit here. Look at this. All these reds in the way.
Oh, and a miss. Right, Lisowski 1, Stuart Bingham 4. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to have that put back, Stuart, but he'll be very wary that if Jack does get the line right here, he could be snookered. when he comes back to the table, Stuart. But you've got to think to yourself, well, it's a very, very tough shot to play, but at least Jack's got a bit of an idea now of the line that he needs to find. Just saying it's a little bit closer to the red.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a nice shot either way, but he's making it more difficult for himself. But he's being honest. They're checking on the screen, but it's only going to be a slight adjustment, I think. Yeah, I mean, it looks basically right there.
It looks bang on, Jack.
Okay, sure. Thank that, yeah. Brown. Very well, thank you.
Brown again.
I think that's what Stuart Bingham was afraid of. But he can just see this red.
Could I ask you to check the volume in your commentary earpieces? One or two are a bit loud, thanks.
Well, it's just not happening yet for him, is it, this evening? He's left another chance here.
One.
I think Jack's mistake was a little forced. He couldn't see the reds down the right-hand side of the table, and he was hampered by the green for a couple of pots he could have attempted.
7.
Stuart cues across the ball. When he brings the cue back, he pulls the cue off line and it comes back into line as he strikes the ball. Judd Trump does the same thing, and probably many other players do as well, but one thing Stuart has is a lot of belief in his technique. It's pretty natural, but he does keep very, very still on the shot, and that's a bonus. Not every player does that.
Well, what's he actually on is the question, if anything. Those reds all seem to be covering one another to right corner. That doesn't go to the middle. So it's just a safety.
Stuart Bingham, 12.
But maybe that's the difference. I mean, there's a couple he could have taken on, I guess, low percentage. He's not going to play that way because he feels he's got his man where he wants him at the moment, under pressure.
Couldn't do much more with that. He's played it fairly well. There's a cuttable red below the blue to the right centre, but it's very risky. This red that's just next to the black is cuttable, though. Oh, he's missed it now. Has he left a path through to it? Do you know? I think he has. So a great chance for Jack Lisowski. Just look at the position of the reds. Surely this time he can get position on the black.
One.
Well, like you said earlier, Dominic, it's now about just controlling the white, isn't it? You know, he's nicely in. Just keep position, make it as simple as you can. And it's a good scoring chance.
Eight. Nine.
When you look at Jack, when he plays, there's a lot of eagerness. You can see it in his eyes and his expression.
15.
There's desire to pop balls and make breaks. I used to practice with Jack a lot at the Southwest Snooker Academy. It's not there anymore, but it's a wonderful facility. Myself, Rob Milkins were there as well, and other players.
22.
And I can assure you that Jack, when you played a best of 9 or a best of 19 with him, he played every shot correctly. But it's just when he plays certain
23.
matches, he seems to be very wild and unpredictable at times.
Yeah, it can only be pressure, can't it? It's almost like you just, oh, I'll just play the shot because I want to get it out of my system. No doubting
20.
his immense talent. I think a lot of people here in Sheffield and beyond would love to see him take on Ronnie in the quarters. Be some spectacle.
$29. $36. 37.
Developed those reds beautifully in the course of potting that pink, and well, with the lead that he has, insect flying around there, something's distracted him briefly. Big favourite now, Jack, to go on and win this frame. 2 reds tied up on the left-hand side cushion. Jack certainly doesn't need those. Just about keeping his concentration here.
Yeah. This is sometimes the issue with the really natural players, because it kind of just feels easy.
51.
You know, you can take your eye off the ball, but can't afford to do that at this stage.
52.
He's made 6 half-centuries in the match thus far.
$58. 59.
Pink and red. It should be 10-8.
$65. 66.
Yeah, and there's the applause. Well, still has a chance to make the century.
73.
which is quite a rare bird here at the Crucible this year. Had 35 thus far. Well, it's not going to happen, but nevertheless, he's won the frame.
Lisowski.
And that's all that matters to Jack Lisowski. I say he's won the frame. Bingham's going to play on, but he needs 4 snookers. It's actually giving Bingham a chance to pot red and black here. Take it down to the last red. Got to pot this, though, otherwise... I mean, it feels an unlikely task anyway, but certainly if he misses this black, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Bingham, 1.
And Stuart Bingham,
concedes.
Concedes. So Lisowski was typically dashing 73 from him. He pulls one back. The lead is reduced to 10-8.
Thank you. Frame 19. Stuart Bingham to break.
So it's 10-8. And we're back to where we started the night, 2 frames between the players.
This red to the left corner is potable. Oh, that's the last thing you want to do, though, is to miss them on the thick side, but that cue ball's running well. Could have left Stuart a much easier red than the choice of 2 that he has. One hampered by the yellow, the other in open play, but far from easy. That's a great pot from Stuart, especially when you consider how poor his long potting was in the middle session of these 3 sessions yesterday. Playing for the red next to the blue, which would bring the blue into play, because I think the black is completely tied up for now.
3.
From this angle, he can leave himself high on the blue to go into the reds and the pink.
There's a certain energy about evening matches, I think. And also, because the other match, it's not starting out, it's also close, Higgins and Allen, you know, there's just an energy in the room that has to sort of bleed through to this table as well.
Four.
Stuart's already had a look at the pack of reds to see if there's any likelihood a red could find a pocket somewhere. Oh, that little cannon, has it done Stuart any favours or not? Let's have a look.
9.
This cannon there just holds a cue ball up against the side cushion a little. Well, he has a red to the centre pocket. Probably doesn't have the best angle on it, though. Ah, there's another one. There's a gap.
Ten.
Well, Stuart Bingham's renowned as a heavy scorer. 580 centuries, 9 maximums. So this is his terrain. Obviously the black's tied up at the moment, pink on the cushion, so it's not as straightforward as it could be.
15. $16.
I think a little moth just flew in front of Stuart there, or a fly or something. There it is. Well, there it was. Oh, it's a ladybird. He's killed a ladybird.
No point.
Look, bless it. They're hard to pick up, aren't they?
Yeah, he was still kicking, I'm pleased to say. You could see it moving, so he's been quite humane actually there. Whether he'll be as gentle on Jack Lisowski, we'll see.
Well, this red here to the corner pocket's no good for Stuart because the black's out of commission, so he had to play the other red that he's on to the same pocket. Better angle.
$22. $25. $26. Yeah.
There's the overall pot success. Quite low, I suppose, 84% for someone who's 10-8 up in the second round, but yesterday's second session got a bit fractious at times.
32.
Of course, they had played at the Crucible back in 2018, round one. Lisowski won 10-7, so I'm sure that matches in both of their minds.
$37.
Been having to work off the smaller colours here with pink and black where they are.
$38.
That's considerably short of pace. If he'd have landed straight on the blue to the green pocket, that would have been fine, but he's now looking at the yellow. Blue with the rest. The cue ball pretty much exactly where he wanted it, but nevertheless this red is far from easy.
Yeah, as you said, Dom.
Stuart Bingham 43.
He was just starting to look good there, wasn't he? It was a good pot with the rest on that blue, but the red stays out. And because he's been taking low value colours, he's not that far in front actually in the frame. Only 43.
He's not happy, is he, Stuart? Particularly as in missing the red, he's brought the black into play.
Yeah, the red has travelled, as you can see, and he's nicely waiting. And now the black is in play, so suddenly that favours Bingham to try and get to 11-8.
One. Three.
Just okay on this red to run through of 2 cushions.
Four.
Dead straight on the black would have been better for Stuart. I don't know if he can hold for that red next to the black spot. Maybe too much angle on this black. Cushion with a tracer check side. Again, he's not nicely on the red, but with the lead that he has, he just needs a red and reasonably high value colour to be safe barring snookers.
Stuart Bingham 11.
Well, it was a good chance when he came to the table with the red over the pocket, the black free, certainly to kill the frame off. It's not quite happened, though. Oh dear. I mean, it was a tough table coming in, but he missed the first red.
One.
Clever shot from Stuart. No doubt that he attempted that cross double. Almost at the winning line now in this frame. Doesn't need to attempt to colour here. 55 ahead, 59 remaining. The black's tied up, the pink's tied up. Just put another colour safe.
Stuart Bingham 1.
Yep, that is in his favour, of course, bringing the black into play. 55 behind. When we say 59 on, we mean that's reds and blacks. That wasn't possible till he played that shot.
wonder what Stuart will play here. Yeah, I was going to suggest, even though he's snookered on this red, I'd still be wanting to play it, keep those other three together. Stuart tried to double that red up the table into bolt. That was the right shot to play, but caught too much of the red, double kissed it.
Well, he looked nailed on, didn't he, to win this frame just a few minutes ago. Now, he's not quite such a hot favourite. There's still a lot of work to do for Lisowski. Well, it started with potting that, getting on the black, getting the black back on its spot. He was on the black, but the red's not in.
Don't think Stuart will want to play a safety shot off the red. That's tight against the cushion nearest this left corner because he doesn't want that cue ball to run into the pink. But he'd like to double a red up the table if he can.
Well, he had this frame locked down, but he's offered another opening to Lisowski. This frame could end up being really significant if Lisowski could steal it.
One.
If Jack just pots the black and then plays a safety off the loose red and brings it towards the other two, he could leave Stuart Bingham with a bit of a headache. Problem is, he could easily leave a pot on here as well. This is not easy.
8. Lisowski 8.
Can't quite kill the frame off, and the longer it takes, the more chance he's not going to.
Oh, what a chance Jack has here. Perfect angle to get on the black. The two reds are potable below it. That's in. And the pink, of course, is on the right hand. The right side cushion, I beg your pardon, for Jack being left-handed. Well, there'll be pressure on Jack Lisowski here because all of a sudden he's got half a chance of stealing this frame.
8.
Yeah, I mean, these are the frames that can define whole tournaments, can sometimes define whole careers.
9.
If you can make a big steal, you know, we could be looking back on this a week tonight, couldn't we, when the final's going on? You just don't know, but it starts with Lisowski, who looked a massive second favourite in the frame, making the clearance. The pink is on the cushion, of course.
17.
And look at the green and the brown. If he gets on the yellow, gets straight on the green, he'd be perfectly on the brown. Getting on the blue is a formality. Oh, I'd be very nervous if I was Stuart Bingham right now.
24.
And that pink for Jack will be easy being left-handed because it's right against the cushion. It will easily drop into the pocket.
$26.
I'd like to be a lot straighter than this on the green.
$29.
That's a good effort. Twice across the table. He'll do well to get perfectly on the blue, but he should be able to get onto it.
The big shot then, blue to pink.
Not 8.
Well, he's played it really well. Pink and black for a massive steal. It wasn't just that he was trailing, it was where the balls were. Bingham looked in complete control. He had more chances after that. Lisowski needs this black. This feels like the biggest shot of the whole match. And in it goes. Massive clearance from Jack Lisowski to cut the deficit to just one. 10-9, game on.
Jack Lisowski to break.
So, big clearance from Jack Lisowski has brought him to within one. 10-9 to Bingham. And what a very exciting contest we have in progress now. And we need this, don't we? There's been a few runaways, a couple today. You're going to get that in the longer matches, but there's nothing better than a close one. And we've got two actually on right now on both tables.
Stuart takes this red on. It must look like the size of a beach ball right now. Pockets must seem 3 times smaller. And that's not going to be a fluke. It won't reach. But is it safe? First glance, I think he's been a bit fortunate. He has.
Well, I hope Lisowski appreciates just how good that clearance was. He made one at the British Open in Cheltenham against Sean Murphy to win their match this season, and I saw him immediately afterwards. The first 2 shots he played were both brilliant, 2 real tough pots. I saw him immediately afterwards and just felt like saying, you know, I thought I was brilliant. And he said, I struggled with to keep the cue ball, you know, and it's just looking at negatives. And actually, it was a great break. Surely must realise the same about that last one.
It's too early in this frame to tell, but I'm just curious now as to the effect that clearance is going to have on Stuart Bingham here. Seems to have affected Jack. He's playing what I would call more normal snooker here. He's thinking about what he's doing. He's not being impetuous. He's not taking a couple of risks on. He could have attempted a difficult red there, but he's decided to make Stuart work for opportunities, and I think that's a good policy. Glad to see Jack walking around the table, having a look at other options. That was a good safety from Stuart.
Yeah, not a ball potted in the first 5 minutes. But you're right. I mean, Lisowski now, maybe just sensing a chance in general, has suddenly sort of activated safety mode, which, let's be honest, he's not necessarily associated with. It's the classic case of getting close enough that it stays near the pocket. It didn't look in that. I mean, these pockets are not generous. We've been saying it all tournament, and it bears out. If there are no centuries tonight, as we see the replay, it'll be the lowest tally in rounds 1 and 2 for 10 years.
Jack could play for the black here, but because that red's so close to the one over the pocket, I wouldn't blame him for playing this with backspin and power to almost use that red to the left of the one over the pocket just to deflect the cue ball up towards the bulk colours and the blue. Ah, you see, he's caught the red. Well, can't take a colour on now, I don't think.
Yellow ball. Okay, Lisowski won.
It's a very good safety from Jack. Brown hiding the red on the left that Stuart could have played a safety from, forcing him down this right-hand side of the table, which is much more congested. I can't see any plants there that are available to Stuart. That red has found its way near the corner pocket again, and he's left it. Jack immediately having to see if the black is available, because there is a chance he could stun across for it, but I think if he can get on the blue, he'd be happy.
One. Six.
Well, this was a big pressure blue, particularly as Jack must have been very disappointed not to be much better on it. He isn't badly on this red near the black spot. It's there.
7.
They're going in clean now, aren't they? You know, that they're both missable, actually, the last two shots, but that great clearance he made seems to have just changed something in this match.
Well, the reason he nearly missed that blue is because he didn't get the backspin on the cue ball, and that's why it's finished near this side cushion. So he can't guarantee being on a colour here.
13.
Oh, I'd be happy with that. He can cut the pink in, he can pop the blue, he's okay.
Yeah, and the table's now opened up, hasn't it? Look at the reds. Well, okay, he's not gone in off, but he's just left this next red maybe a little trickier than it could have been. But he's just looking good, isn't he, in himself, suddenly? Playing some wild shots towards the end yesterday. He looks very businesslike suddenly, though, right now.
Lisowski, 19.
But I still missed it.
I'm never a fan of trying to pop balls with the extension piece on your cue. It just changes the way the cue plays completely. But Stuart coming to the table, a man under a lot of pressure. Hasn't potted a ball for over 20 minutes. And this is not the sort of one you want to be faced with. Well done.
One.
As you can see, there aren't that many reds in good potable positions. 3 or 4, yes, but that's about it.
Four. Five. 11.
Stuart has an angle to bring a red or two into play here, but does he want to risk losing position on a colour? Wants to get back in the frame first.
12.
So just one more easily accessible red to play for.
$18. $19. $25.
Well, that's the problem. The red in bulk is causing Stuart big problems, so deciding already to play this with the extension piece on his cue, that's not going to make things easier.
Stuart Bingham, 25.
This cue ball is a long way short of pace, but fortunately for Stuart, he's hidden the potable red. Sure, Jack didn't attempt to pot there, he just played the safety too thinly. Stuart can easily pot this red, but no guarantee he'll finish on a colour.
1.
Well, that's not perfect. He'll prefer the black to the pink, and he'll be cannoning of the reds here, but a chance to bring something into play.
Yes. Now, the black may tie this other red up here.
8.
Not absolutely straightforward, this, particularly, of course, after what happened in the last frame. Well, that's a miscue. And, well, he's finished on the pink, but it won't do his confidence a lot of good, but at least he's potted the red and he's on a colour.
How fortunate was Stuart there to land on the pink as well as he has done. And the reason he's miscued, there is moisture in the atmosphere. There was from day one, and there still is now. There have been kicks, the odd bad bounce. Players have been getting the cue ball cleaned. And this new chalk variety Doesn't like moisture in the atmosphere.
$15. $16.
I think Stuart wanted to be straight on the pink there to play for the red next to the black. Something he can't do now. So whatever he plays for, his next red won't be straightforward.
No, well, he's not on anything. It's becoming a bit of an ordeal this session. It wouldn't be human if he wasn't thinking, I should be 11-8 up here. You know, real daylight, putting the pressure on Lisowski.
Switch it off, please.
Yeah. Rather loud phone tune going off, ringtone.
Stuart Bingham, 22.
Jack can only see one red here. And it's so tight against the cushion, he needs to be very careful that he doesn't double kiss this red. That's going to be his primary concern, I think. But if he can avoid the double kiss, he may cross double it. Well, that deserves a round of applause. That was a terrific shot. And you can see, though, that there is a gap between the yellow and the blue here for Stuart to attempt this red. But it's going to be a tough ask to knock this in from near that bolt cushion.
Well, this is a chance. I mean, okay, the last red's on the top cushion, but everything is basically on. Bit of a stretch here, though.
One.
I thought for a moment Jack was going to be struggling to be on a colour, but he's not badly on this pink. He only has to stroke it in for the red in the opposite corner.
Yeah, I don't think many people were sure there that it would look to be heading to the jaw, but okay, it's in. Another chance from a trailing position.
8.
And this time Jack is perfectly on the black to screw back behind the red for the same pocket. This red, if it's tight against the cushion, shouldn't be difficult to roll in.
15. 16.
Oh, is he so straight on the black he can't get close to this remaining red? Doesn't have to play for the red to pot it. He could easily leave himself in a position to leave a difficult snooker. And that's what he's decided to do. Maturity.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yesterday he was basically trying to pot everything, but he feels he's got his teeth well and truly into this match. He's got Bingham on the ropes a bit. He wants to keep him there.
Lisowski, 22.
This is really awkward for Stuart because it looks to me as though the brown is a little bit in the way coming down this left-hand side of the table, and the green is in the way on the right-hand side. So you'll have to just use one cushion here, Stuart, rather than coming off the side and bulk cushions, which I'm sure he'd prefer. Huge moments here in this match. 10-9, just 4 points between them.
Well, he's pushed the yellow safe. So, OK, the red's potable, but the yellow has now gone on the cushion.
This could be an exciting frame now with that yellow there. Stuart did escape from the snooker using two cushions, but couldn't use running side on the cue ball because it would have widened the angle too much. Jack would be disappointed to have missed that red. He would have been in the box seat. He could have snookered Stuart behind the brown on the yellow.
Foul, a miss.
Well, this is going to be a free ball.
Stuart Bingham, 4. Free ball.
Decision time. Stuart would need the yellow and the green, so he can't really win the frame from here, even with the free ball. Well, highly unlikely that he would. Is it worth putting these back?
Green ball. Foul, a miss.
Oh, Jack missed
Stuart
that
Bingham,
by a
4.
fraction.
Free ball.
Another free ball, which maybe Stuart Bingham will take this time. 12 points ahead, just doing some maths.
Well, brown as a red, black, that's 20 in front. Another red and a black, 28 with 27 on. Which means he wouldn't need that yellow.
Yeah.
Just checking the maths again. He's worked it out, but obviously there's so much pressure down there, you can miscount. but that's what he needs, isn't it? 16 points, so free ball black, red black. Lisowski needs a snooker on the yellow.
And that's no good at all.
1.
He's on the black, can't play for the red. So, just leaving the cue ball in position to lay a tight snooker in behind the black. And that's good, leaving the red in the middle of the table. Jack can escape from this just using one cushion, but it's tough. Yellow maybe just slightly in his way.
Well, it was a good hit. After that, it was out of his hands. I mean, he was trying to get some sort of separation. He's got a snooker out of it. Amazing. This game... Well, it is a game. That's why. Things can happen. But they call Bingham ball run. Lisowski got it there. And little things like that are going to make a difference in a close match.
And that snooker was more difficult to escape from than the other two that he missed. He had to play that with power off the side cushion to straighten the angle up. Oh, well played, Stuart Bingham. He may have hooked a snooker of his own here.
Well, it's a very dramatic frame, this half an hour. Little bits of running playing their part. Good escape, and Jack will be delighted with the result because that red doesn't pass the green, so it's safe. Stuart could cut the red across the table, roughly in behind the brown, get the cue ball in behind blue, pink and black here. Where's this going? Behind the blue? Will it stop in time? Oh, I think it has. It has. Well, if Lisowski ends up winning this frame, he's done well. He's been in all sorts of trouble from snooker positions.
But, you know, that was a mistake from Stuart because look where the red is. If that cue ball runs through just another inch, he's left the pot on.
Got all the long stuff out here. Again, though, it's not just hitting the red, it's not leaving it on.
Oh, and a miss. Stuart Bingham, 4. Yeah.
Jack intended to play that with a lot more power, but with the extension on the cue, the extra length of the cue now that's involved with this shot, just completely lost the feel of the strike.
Okay, we'll check that.
looks really close.
Yeah?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, thanks.
For me, Jack needs to apply more backspin to the cue ball here, just to straighten it up and stop the cue ball skidding off the cushion.
Well, now the brown has gone safe-ish as well. But he's hit the red, he's not left it on. That's all that matters right now.
Well, it was a good shot from Stuart, except for the second time he didn't leave the red safe. If the red's safe, the whole shot's safe, but Jack can have a go at this if he wishes, but he is 24 behind. Then again, the safety shot from here is harder than the pot.
Oh, doesn't want this in. Ooh. Well, I mean, we're not even at the interval yet, and it's already a thriller.
One.
Yeah, good pot. And the blue would leave Lisowski needing a snooker. It'd be 30 in front with 27 on. It's one of those. I mean, the blue has no business being there, but Bingham's delighted it is right now. Ooh, it wriggled. It wriggled in. So, one snooker needed.
Six.
Stuart thinks he's missed that blue. Caught the near jaw and wriggled in.
Stuart Bingham, 6.
And he certainly didn't play this shot. Is it a snooker? Well, shake of the head, maybe not. Big chances, though, for Jack to get the snooker that he needs. He just needs one. Stuart could play the yellow to the top cushion, the cue ball in behind the blue, but he's worried if he doesn't get the snooker. Maybe Jack Lisowski has a chance to get one back on him.
Well, we associate him so much with Hollywood pots, but this a very well worked out snooker. Cushion first.
And this yellow is so close to the side cushion. I don't know if Stuart feels the jaw of the pocket could be in his way here.
Foul.
Well, there you are. He's hit the brown. Can you believe it? There's something about this session that you just feel Bingham's almost jinxed. He was massively in control of the last frame. Lisowski cleared up. In this one, he needed a snooker. He's got it. Can he make another clearance and make it 10 each? Big moments here.
Stuart cannoning the brown and bringing it into play. Now Jack can still cut this green in. It's thin. It's there. Is he on the brown? Needs to keep running. Well, he'll have a shot of it. Massive pressure moments here, but Jack can pot this brown. He can get onto the blue. Can he handle the pressure?
Doesn't use the rest as much as some others. He sometimes changes hands. Let's see. Big shot. Big, big shot. Oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. He's given himself every chance. Stuart Bingham can't believe it. He can't believe he lost the last frame. He looked nailed on to win this one. But there's still pressure on this man to make the clearance and level the match. There's still pressure on him, and he's missed the pink.
Lisowski 14.
Oh, played a deft stun to hold for the black, and just a bit of pressure just took hold finally because he's dealt with it so well. There's a double on here. Well, he went for the double, missed it by so far, and there's a natural angle here to pot the pink and come down for the black.
He's worried again that he's thrown it away. Lisowski, second go at the pink. Oh, he knew straight away. He knew straight away that wasn't in.
Dear me. Dare Stuart attempt another double here? It's certainly on. Frame time, 41 minutes. Been full of drama.
Yeah, he looks certain to lose it, Lisowski. He's had two chances to win it. It's close. It's in. It's Bingham's frame after all that. He'll be so relieved. Lisowski had two chances at the pink to level, but it's Stuart Bingham leading at the interval, 11-9. Well, it's been a very dramatic evening already.
Thank you, frame
here
21.
On table two. Stuart Bingham
11,
11, Jack Lisowski 9. Could have been 10 all. Lisowski had pink and black to level up, having stolen the previous frame. Got the snooker he needed in that pre-interval frame. Didn't ultimately win it. Bingham doubled the pink. And he is, as they were at the start of the evening, 2 in front. He needs 2 more to reach the quarterfinals of the World Championship and take on Ronnie O'Sullivan. More drama, I'm sure, ahead of us. Lisowski was so close, though, to really landing a big blow by leveling the match.
Yes, I wonder if either player would have spent time on the practice table or whether they just feel that the game's okay. It's just all about the psychological aspects that have led to the mistakes that we've seen and the pressure, of course. But more than anything, I'm wondering now what Jack's course of action may be for the remainder of this match. was a nervy one from Stuart.
Foul.
Screw straighten off. Believe it or not, he went for the pot there. I just wonder whether Jack now will start to go for shots, try and win frames quickly.
When he was clearing up in that last frame, he potted the blue. There were big cheers as if the pink was a gimme. I mean, it's one of those he would have obviously expected to pot it, hoped to have pot it, but with the pressure on, anything's missable. Of course, he had another chance later from distance. Didn't get at all close.
Short of pace. I'm sure Stuart would be very mindful of the previous attempt at a long pot that missed by many inches. Could attempt this one, can play the cue ball off the top cushion, back up towards the blue.
Well, that looked good, and it would have felt good. Played that really well.
Just the right side of the blue, but probably not enough to get good position on this next red. You can play for the red furthest left. Be able to stun into the red just below it here, just to hold for the black, but it could easily go astray, this. The pot itself is certainly far from straightforward at this stage of the match.
7.
Didn't look in, did it, as he struck it? But how is Jack Lisowski feeling? He's had the interval, of course, to just collect his thoughts tonight. But it's all about pressing on now. What's done is done in this match. There's still a match to get won.
Jack may not be straight enough on this red to hold for the black, which does pass the pink, but he could play for the pink to then go into the pack of reds if he wished. That's probably what he'll play, but the problem is the way the reds are configured is that if he catches the underside of the pack, he could deflect the cue ball towards the left corner. So he needs to be careful here.
Certainly didn't hold back, nearly went in off. A red's gone near to the yellow pocket. But it's a little away from it, actually.
Problem is he can't get through to it, as you can see. And he can't really plant a red onto it because it's not in the jaws enough for it to be straightforward. There is a possible red to the right corner, but it's extremely tough. I think all in all, Dave, he's been incredibly unfortunate there to land where he has.
Well, if he's taking this on, this is huge. Oh, what a pot. What a pot. That could have been 12-9 there if he misses that. So Lisowski's in.
Fourteen.
This time Jack is on that red at the back of the pack
19.
perfectly. Can play with the black now at last.
$20.
Because he's already survived one very close match against Ding. He was in front there, 9-7. Ding came back at him. Of course, he got it 1-10-9.
$28.
Has he screwed back far enough for the red? Can he see it?
Yeah, sure.
Asking referee Leo Scullion just to double check that that black is absolutely perfectly on its spot. I don't think he can see this red. Oh, and look at the one over the yellow pocket. He can't see that either. Oh, what a mistake. The red above the cue ball could be cut into the centre pocket, but you don't want to be forced to play that. Can he come off the side cushion and flick that red in that's over the yellow pocket?
Well, I think that's what he's doing. Or trying to do. Yeah. It's high-stakes stuff, this, isn't it? The thing is, in terms of scoring in the match, Lisowski's done more of it. He's had 8 half-centuries. Bingham's only had 3, which for him is quite low. For someone leading 11-9, actually, is quite low.
I have been impressed more with Jack this evening than in yesterday's session. He's more measured, more in control.
$41.
is anything available?
48.
At the bottom of that little quartet, maybe the red pots. Maybe
49.
the 2 middle reds are a plant. I think he's okay here. This looks very much to me like 11-10 in a few shots' time.
Stuart Bingham had that tricky pink with the rest. Jack Lisowski looks like he's done the rest. He's had a couple of real hurdles to get over. The cut back red to this right corner, of course, cushion first to the yellow pocket. But he's kept going. Snooker's required.
64. 65. 70. 71. 78. 79.
It's been a trademark Lisowski break, this. It's been exhilarating to watch. Just trying to flick the red into play and make the century. Going to have to be some sort of double. But no matter, the frame is his. Yeah, that is typical Jack Lisowski. What a wonderful break. 84, and in the blink of an eye, there's only one in it again. 11-10.
Thank you, frame 22. Jack Lisowski to break.
So it was a quick afternoon of snooker, but the evening is very tense and very exciting. And Jack Lisowski, with that dashing break in the last frame, keeping his hopes alive here. 84 it was to close to 11-10. It's first to 13. Ronnie O'Sullivan no less awaits in the next round. Bingham's long potting has been a bit up and down in this match. And that was a long way away. And what has he done? He's fluked one, has he? He's fluked one. Hang on, green pocket. Oh, and they both stayed out. Well, you don't know where to look sometimes, but good grief. That has just handed the keys to the sweet shop to Jack Lisowski.
Wow, look at this. Stuart Bingham has completely mistimed the strike of the ball there. Almost fluked a red in the centre. A red nearly double-kissed another in the green pocket. Jack Lisowski's heart must have been in his mouth there.
One.
Oh, well, OK, it's all very well to say it's a great chance, but it's one of those, if you break down early, you're just leaving the lot for your opponent. But this is the sort of chance you want at the start of a frame. OK, the black's covered, but he's in with a chance to build a lead here. Pink available.
7.
Yes, pink is on just in one corner pocket, though. But it's very useful when you have a ball hanging over a pocket somewhere. In this case, that red over the green pocket. There are a couple of reds that if Jack could somehow remove them, would make the pink available into other pockets, but just wants to keep the break going. Could pop this red
14.
and run through and cannon a red out of the way, which would make the pink available into the left-hand corner pocket. And he'd be on the pink to the right centre. If the angle's there, he may play it.
15.
Well, he's just done the cue ball past the red that I thought he may cannon, but again, that red that's closest to the cue ball, that's the one that Jack would love to see the back of. Then the pink pots into 2 corners and the middle.
Lisowski's confidence must have taken a blow not winning the pre-interval frame. So the last thing Bingham wanted to do was give him a chance to get his confidence up. He's just made 84, so he was feeling good anyway coming into this frame. And he was handed this opening.
Stuart deep in thought there. He's probably preparing himself for 11 all and the battle that lies ahead and the pressure that he's undoubtedly under.
29.
Of course, if Jack can win this frame to make it 11 all, the pressure's equally on him. When you're sat in your chair, if you're Stuart Bingham, you must always remember that there's pressure on your opponent as well as yourself.
$35. 36. 39. 40.
After the red that's closest to the bolt colours, he'll have to consider coming down for the pink again.
$44. 45.
'This is a very important positional shot that Jack Lisowski is about to play. Could come around the back of the reds and the black to play the pink in the same pocket as the red. But he needs to be slightly high on the pink. So this is a very important positional shot.
Thank you. 52.
It was never easy to judge. A right-hander wouldn't be too dismayed at being a little high on the pink, but for Jack, it's a problem.
Another big shot here on this yellow to keep the break going. Powers it in. How's the cannon looking? It's looking good. That was a very confidently played shot, wasn't it? That's a kind of statement of intent. Reds just covering one another on the left-hand side. There is one on the right-hand side.
He's only 3 balls away here from 11 all. That was a magnificent yellow he played, and he's very unlucky Not to be on a red to the left corner, which would have made things very straightforward.
Just looking at the faces there in the crowd, they're absolutely entranced by this match.
55.
Lisowski suffered a major blow pre-interval, but he's played superbly since. Of course, Bingham let him in and then some with the shot he played, that wild long red that opened everything up. And it means that Lisowski needs this red
61.
For another frame-winning break and to level the match at 11 each.
62.
Jack has found his A game just when it matters most.
68.
Stuart Bingham has scored
69.
just 7 points in these 2 frames after the mid-session interval, the final interval of this match.
That's the thing, isn't it? It's not just the fact he's won the frames, it's how he's won them. Just needing one chance in each of them.
75. 76.
Well, we've been light on centuries.
82.
But a great chance to make one now.
83. 89. 90. 96. 98.
You're going to have to maybe go around the table to stay on the brown here. Nose holding. And he's knocked the green in, and he's made the century. And Jack Lisowski has really turned it on in the last 20 minutes. That major blow, or so it seemed, of losing the pre-interval frame, he seems to have used as a positive. It's fired him up. He's loosened him up a bit, and he's going for it. And Bingham knows he's going to have to raise his own game to get this one.
110. 160.
What a break. I mean, he had an easy starter, but there's nothing easy on a night like this. He's kept it going brilliantly. It's a clearance of 123. Beautiful break from Jack Lisowski. All square, 11 each, with 3 frames to play.
Frame 23. Stuart Bingham to break.
11 all with a possible 3 frames remaining. Bingham's been completely outplayed in the last 2, but he's been to the pinnacle at this venue. He's a former champion. He beat Judd Trump in a decider in the semi-finals that year. He beat O'Sullivan in the quarters. Beat Murphy, of course, in the final. So he's used to these close matches, the pressure. He's used to responding to it. But Lisowski, you've got to say, has looked brilliant for 2 frames.
Very good safety from Jack Lisowski, but I just wonder if Stuart can see enough of the bottom of the 2 reds to the right to cut it into the corner pocket. It would be a shot to nothing if he can see enough of it. too thickly, but doesn't appear that there's a possible red for Jack. He is one of these players, Jack Lisowski, who can frighten you to death sometimes, the way he plays.
Yeah, the significance of the two frames, it was just one mistake apiece from Bingham. He missed a pink with the rest, and then he played that long red and left them all on. That's all Lisowski needed both times, one chance. That's what's going to put Bingham on edge now, make him wary of leaving any sort of opportunity.
He's going to consider lining up a potential plant as a shot to nothing here, perhaps. Jack certainly looks to me to be the player who's striking through the ball the better. He also looks to be the player that's playing without any inhibition at the moment. If Stuart can't see the red to the left of the black and the red there, that may as well be a snooker, because he can't do anything with that red that he can see next to the black.
Foul, and a miss. Jack Lisowski, 4. Yeah.
Stuart can't play a safety off that red.
I thought it knocked.
The one that he almost made contact with there, 2 to the left of the black, he's actually trying to come off the top cushion and flick the red, because he can't play it directly because he'll cannon into the balls.
That's it.
Leo Scullion just struggling to remember the position of the cue ball here.
And a touch that way.
Tatiana Wollaston, he's helping him on the marker's desk. Just needs slightly moving.
Yeah? Yeah, thank you.
great target for either of these players to try and get the cue ball in behind green and brown with one of their safety shots. Jack's been close a couple of times. But now it's Stuart Bingham who has a great chance to put Jack Lisowski in trouble.
Well, there's Bingham's record. It's quite considerable, obviously, the experience of coming here in 18 appearances, and he's had several close matches. 60-siders, actually. He's won 4 of them. Lisowski, 8 appearances. He's played 4 deciders. He's won 2, lost 2. We're not in a decider yet, but it just feels like we might be heading towards one.
Jack has played a really good safety. As you can see, the yellow is hiding most of the left-hand side of the table. Stuart can play the red that's closest to the pink spot, but he'd have to play it rather thickly to get the cue ball back in behind the green and the brown, and who knows where the reds would finish. Stuart Bingham, but there's a gap past the green to this red.
Yeah, 10 minutes in this frame without a ball being potted, but who cares? We're here for the long haul, aren't we? It's 17 days this tournament. This match can go on as long as it wants to, as far as I'm concerned. It's been brilliant viewing. There's Bingham's time since he's potted one, over half an hour.
Stuart play that snooker in behind the blue, but that's exactly what it is. Jack needing to play a slight swerve around the blue here. Quite enough. Shouldn't be any harm done. Can have another go at this. Yep. Now this is going to be a problem for Leo Scullion. Getting this cue ball back in exactly the right position. He's been struggling with this all match. See that cue ball's a mile away from where it should be. I mean, it's 3 inches, 4 inches.
Away from the blue, away. Touch more. That's it, and then it's millimeters. Like.
Well, they're all having a look. It's important because obviously it's you know, a fraction out becomes a different shot entirely.
It's vitally important, and for me, that's not in the right place. The snooker's too severe there. I mean, we are only talking a couple of millimetres, but it makes a huge difference.
You're talking millimetres.
Yeah, I mean, Jack would know better than anyone. He was down, obviously, playing the shot. He knows what he could and couldn't see.
Sure, thank you.
So, here we go, second attempt.
Magnificent shot. It really is a magnificent shot. And if anything, for me, that snooker was a touch more difficult than it was the first time around.
Well, he doesn't need those glasses, does he, Stuart Bingham? That was a real nice edge of the red he got. Very different frame at the moment to the last couple. Still nothing potted. The points, both fouls, of course. Just caught that a little on the thick side.
Yes, now this red nearest the right corner is definitely pottable, but the cue ball cannons into the reds below it. Now, if Stuart feels that the pot is unmissable, he'd still take it on. There's always a chance he could deflect off something. Still feels it's too risky. And what a frame we have here. All these balls being shoved towards this right corner. This is when you really do need to have a look at the position of the reds, because you'll always be playing a red into other balls, and if you don't look at what you're doing, you can leave something right over the pocket very easily. Stuart may play a red into the black here, just to use the black to stop a red from falling near the corner pocket, but where does a black go? It's just one of those situations that you find yourself in whereby you can completely tie the frame up, but that might not be such a bad thing for Stuart Bingham with his tactical prowess.
Funny old frame, isn't it? Not much happening.
No, Dave, I think both these players would like a re-rack.
Well, someone in the crowd thinks the same. They've shouted it out. Neither's really trying to open things up. You can understand why. It's 11 each for a place in the quarterfinals of the World Championship. 15 minutes, getting on 16-0 potted. The 8 points have been in fouls. But Bingham there, you know, he didn't just nudge up to the red. That would have been re-rack territory. He's got the white away.
Well, the only problem with that shot that I can see, it just affords Stuart the opportunity here to try and get the cue ball in bulk behind the green and the brown. I'm very surprised Stuart played that shot. Tried to get behind the yellow instead and block off this left-hand side of the table. Has he done it?
Foul. You miss. Stuart Bingham.
15
7.
reds and he's hit the black.
Yeah. Tatiana, could you help through the black, please?
Okay, and then half of the ball towards me. A bit more.
Well, I don't think Jack's in any great danger of leaving a red on anywhere really here. The multiplicity of shots he could play.
And then a ball that way. A bit more. Quarter of the ball more. Touch. Or too much, too much. And maybe a touch towards you.
Sorry, I slipped.
Touch this way. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Well,
Foul.
he can't afford to do that again, can he?
Stuart Bingham,
Because you can see a red full.
Yeah.
So he's going to be warned.
Bring up again for that.
All the points in this frame of fouls. We've been going 18 minutes, nothing potted, but he's got to hit a red this time.
It looks close, yeah. And then a quarter of the ball towards me. And then touch that way. And maybe a touch towards you. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Can't have the warning if you don't hit a ball on, you'll lose a frame.
There's the warning. It's pretty stark. If he doesn't hit a red, it's 12-11 to Bingham. Yeah, it was quite an aggressive safety shot, wasn't it? He was always going to be opening reds, but he's got the cue ball to a good spot.
The semblance of a chance of a plant here for Jack. Yeah. He was more intent on getting a good cue ball, and if this cue ball bounces, and it has, oh, Stuart's in trouble here. Snooker and everything. If Stuart were to drop on the 4 reds near the top cushion, it should be fine. Wow. Just a fraction harder. Could have left a red on, but played it well.
Well, this is the other side of the game, the defensive game. Balls have all gone kind of into the same area. So still nothing potted after 22.5 minutes.
Jack's had the upper hand with this exchange now for a few shots, and there could be a red here that could clip into that corner pocket.
Well, has there been another frame in the Crucible this year that's gone this long without a ball being potted? I can't think of one. Nearly 24 minutes.
There's certainly no potable reds there that I can see. So another chance to play good safety, try and get that cue ball behind a bulk colour.
Yeah, well, last pot time, that's at the end of the last frame, isn't it? Bingham hasn't potted one for 46 minutes. But you need to see a pot, of course. Because he had that wild sort of go at the long one in the last frame that set up Lisowski's 123.
Just wonder if the two reds to the right of the cue ball could be a plant for this corner pocket. I don't think the red that's closest to the black will cut in. Oh, now Stuart's had a look at the two reds to the right of the cue ball. They may be a plant, but how do you get on a colour? Truth is, I don't think you can. They are a plant, as you can see, but not worthwhile taking on.
So the impasse has been broken. Bingham went for that very thin cut. He's left one to middle. I mean, there's a lot of work that has to be done here, but looks like we're going to see at least a ball potted in this frame.
Wow, if the black passes the red, and it looks as though it does, Jack could leave an angle on the black to crash into all of those reds and open this whole frame up. As long as he thinks that black passes the red.
Well, it would be his sort of shot, wouldn't it?
One.
Well, the black pots, there's no problem with the black. It's just that if you play it with a lot of pace, could that red be a problem? Because the black will just flick the red in all likelihood as it goes in.
Eight. Nine.
Be very useful if there's a plant, and there it is. So Jack can hold for the plant, which would give him the opportunity to play for the black again in the same corner pocket. But this is where the pressure really tells at times. You need to focus on the pot. It's the pot that matters. The plant will be there.
16. Seventeen.
Well, it seemed as if Bingham had won a big 20th frame, the one before the interval. Lisowski twice missed the pink in trying to win it. But really, since then, he's made little impact on proceedings, certainly in terms of scoring.
Well, is this match beginning to slip away from Stuart Bingham? I never thought I'd say this, but Jack has been very solid since the interval.
33.
Just potted that red a touch on the thick side, so once again a little lower on the black than he wanted to be.
$41. $48. $49.
Jack's had a look at those two reds that are a plant for this corner pocket. They look dead set. Now he's very straight on the black here. So he's held the spot. He's going to play the plant. Now, if he can judge this well, in an ideal world, he'll double kiss the red just below the plant, which would spring the cue ball up back towards the black.
$56. $57.
Certainly got the double kiss. Look where the cue ball finished. Well, this is wonderful for Jack. He's developed reds. He's already got a very handsome lead. Stuart Bingham, Dave, has hardly potted a ball.
Well, the concern, I think, Dom, is Lisowski's now playing his best snooker of the match, really since the first 2 frames. He won with a couple of 80 breaks. He's playing that sort of freewheeling snooker that he's known for now.
$59.
This next positional shot could be a little awkward for Jack. He's got to just come past those 3 reds above the possible red that he's taking on. Managed it.
60.
But it's meant the cue ball finishing just a bit closer to that side cushion. Current session safety success. Jack Lisowski, 92%. You'd never expect that of Jack Lisowski, would you? And that's as high a percentage as you'd ever likely to see.
Well, this is a little like the pink he missed in frame 20. Of course, that was the final pink needing the black as well. That's in, though. Oh, is he on this red?
67.
So a lot of foul points. So even though he's got 71 on the board, he's not over the line yet. Doesn't look like he's on a red there.
Okay, Lisowski, 67.
It was a very good 67, though. He leads by 53 with a possible 75 on.
Well, I think with the predicament that Stuart finds himself in, he may well take this one potable red that's on. He can stun through the gap of the 2 to the left of it. But if he doesn't contact anything, the cue ball could go close to one of the middle pockets here.
56 minutes since he potted a ball. Oh, and it stays out.
Jack has a chance of potting that red nearest the corner pocket, but he doesn't want to take it on. He doesn't feel he needs to take it on. In terms of the situation on the scoreboard with the 53 points advantage, but the safety shot's tough, that's the problem.
Well, you can see that none of those reds go to this right corner, so unless Bingham takes the one to the yellow pocket, has actually got away with that. When you've not potted a ball for nearly an hour, you'd like an easier one than this, I'm sure. Oh, superb.
Fine.
Superb from Bingham, who's got a chance now to counter-attack in this frame.
This is what I was saying about Stuart Bingham. He's wonderful when the chips are down, when the pressure's on. But this is a very difficult break to have to make, and he's already out of position. He may have a cuttable red on to this right corner, but the cue ball will be running loose.
Well, all sorts of nudges and kisses, and he could have finished a lot better.
Sorry, long rest.
This brown has to go in. There are only one of 3 reds he's likely to finish on here, Stuart. It's a must-pot ball, this.
So, a chance to steal a frame and get back on the scoreboard, having been comprehensively shut out, it seems, for the last kind of hour.
$13.
Ooh, wasn't clean.
And because he used all the pockets, he's just a touch higher up on this red than he wanted to be, but he's still okay. This really would be some clearance
21.
to make when you consider the position of the green and the blue. You'll need both of them, and the pink, and maybe even the final black. This needs to keep running. Well, it's a little bit thinner than it looks.
$29.
Very clever to bring the blue into play, but it was a risk because that remaining red is tight against that top cushion. And Stuart knew he'd be a long way away from it, needed the right angle on a colour. And he really only has it on the green. Had to play a deep screw with the rest all the way back down the table. Jack Lisowski wondering when or if he'll return to the table in this 23rd frame. 24 points still ahead, though. This was a big risk that Stuart took. Remains to be seen whether it will pay off.
Well, the green's not great there for him. I mean, he's got the snooker.
Quite a few players would fancy themselves to screw back from the green there for that remaining red. Stuart trying to perhaps leave such a problem for Jack Lisowski that he gets many penalty points. He may be right.
Foul. I miss. Stuart Bingham, 7.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously going to go back.
Oh, right, sorry.
And these points are going to be a help. Pink and black on their spots, aren't they? So that should be a reasonably easy replacement.
Stuart will still be a little mindful, though, that if Jack Lisowski can cannon this red full ball, Crucible could easily finish behind the black.
We just double check it all.
Well, this frame now, 42 minutes, just a bit longer than frame 20, which was 41.5 minutes.
Towards the cushion. A bit too much, closer to me. Yeah, and then a half a ball, that one. touch more. And towards you, to stick to you. That's it.
Well, I can take you both okay?
Yeah, both on the spot.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Thanks. Well, a miss.
Well, the fact he's caught the knuckle has stopped the free ball. I'm sure that would have been a free ball, but for that.
If Jack Lisowski could only get this right, he could send the red ball back towards the yellow and the brown. The cue ball could stop dead behind the black.
Okay. 2/3 of the ball towards the cushion. And a touch that way. Too much. Back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Third attempt. Just 13 points in it now.
Stuart can attempt this red that's next to the brown. The cue ball would miss the brown on its way back down towards the black spot end. He'll be bitterly disappointed now, Stuart, that he put that green so safe. Pure pressure, caught it way too thickly. He's left the red on. He's left the red on. Now 13 points is the advantage for Jack Lisowski. He's also going to need that tricky green. But it's on the right side of the table for a left-hander.
One.
This pink, yellow and green for a 12-11 lead.
Yeah, having lost what looked like a huge frame pre-interval to trail 11-9. Oh, wow. Well, it was the pink he missed in that frame, wasn't it, twice?
Yeah, Lisowski one.
Griff, the yellow took its time, didn't it? Dropped in eventually. Good grief, they'll bring in the drama, these two. Jack Lisowski with 72 points on the board. It might not be enough to win this frame.
Stuart, something to ponder here. He could take the green on, play for the brown. They're all there. Or he could stun him behind the blue and snooker his opponent.
Well, it's in Bingham's hands. Lisowski had his chance. He missed that pink by a distance. But this was a very coolly played shot.
Nine.
Needs the 3 remaining colours. What a frame.
Yeah, he was always chasing the frame, wasn't he? Lisowski got in front with a good break, had a chance after that. But it's pink and black, and Bingham's back in front on this big, big night at the Crucible.
20.
A former champion showing his mettle again when it matters. Terrific clearance. It was a great green, wasn't it? And Stuart Bingham, he's back in front. Remember, it was 57 minutes within that where he didn't pot a single ball, but he leads Jack Lisowski 12-11. Well, it's been a dramatic, it's been a memorable evening.
24.
How much more to go? Stuart Bingham has made a terrific clearance to win that last frame. He was up against it, he was on the back foot. He leads 12-11. Jack Lisowski, therefore, needs to win this one to force a decider.
It was a tremendous clearance from Stuart Bingham in that previous frame. The green was fantastic, but a little bit of pressure was taken off it because it was almost certain to snooker. Jack Lisowski had it not dropped. Can he find another good long red here? Didn't even look at it. Once again, Jack Lisowski on the back foot, mainly because of that miss pink. That was his big chance to take a lead in this match and go within a frame of victory himself.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't always pan out the same way, but, you know, but for two missed pinks, he could have won this match by now, couldn't he? You know, the one in frame 20 and that one. But when he missed the first one and didn't win that frame, he really stepped it up after that. He made that 67 break in the last frame. It turned out not to be enough.
Well, these balls are set out just the way Jack Lisowski would like them to be. This is his style of frame. If he can just get in, is he taking this red on into the green pocket? Oh, it's close. Oh, it was so close. Needs a bit of luck. Oh, and he hasn't got any. First chance for Stuart Bingham.
Yeah, exactly. Just needing, as you say, when you miss a bit of fortune with the kiss, didn't get it. So Bingham will be feeling good, I'm sure, after that clearance.
One.
He's been sort of missing in action this season, hasn't he? Had a lot of first-round exits and disappointments and frustrations. He went to China to play pool to try and earn some money and kind of get away from the fact the tournaments are on and he wasn't in them, but he loves this game. He loves it more than most, and he would love a crack at Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, in the quarterfinals. A rematch of 2015 when he beat him on the way to winning this title.
Delicately played blue by Stuart. He'd love to be able to get rid of a couple of those reds that surround the black, but do any of them pot anywhere?
Seven.
Well, there's drama on both tables. Right here, Bingham is focusing only on this one.
The fact that Stuart can pot one of these three reds here is huge in the context of making a big break here.
13.
Tried to cannon the black into play, got too much of the black. He's still on it, but it's a lot thinner than it should have been. Wanted this to be nearly straight. Can play for the red that's near bulk. Otherwise, if he wants to come back around the reds here at this end of the table, he'd have to take the cue ball in and out of bulk. That's what he's chosen to do. I don't know if this is going to be hard enough, is it? No.
20.
Another testing pot for Stuart Bingham.
Stuart Bingham, 20.
Well, that was his first chance to get it won. He was left with not an easy one. How's Jack Lisowski feeling after that last frame?
Jack Lisowski has controlled that cue ball there wonderfully well. The green is hiding the right-hand side of the table. Stuart can't play a safety from the left-hand side of the table with the blue on its spot there. This isn't straightforward. Need to play a thick safety. Oh, he was lucky that red caught the other one. Played it really well. Top marks. That's a really good shot from Jack Lisowski, because at the stage of the match that we find ourselves in, one mistake from him could so easily be his last. Another superbly struck safety shot. Both these players producing some great safety here under the most intense of pressure. But these reds now beginning to open out.
Yeah, the red near the pocket is covered. Just brushed off the knuckle, didn't it, of the middle pocket? Well, at this stage of a match like this, I mean, they've been going nearly 8 hours. You know, things will happen at this time of night at the Crucible. They need to happen for the man at the table, though, if there's going to be a decider. He needs cover this time. It doesn't look like he's got it.
Wow, can Stuart see enough of that red? It's very tight. I don't think he can pot it as thinly as he'd like to for positional value. Oh, he'll have a better idea, but he may have to pot this red on the thick side, so then red as a cue ball finish.
One.
Not the worst little kiss, that was it. So a second chance for Bingham. In the frame, he needs to win the match.
Yeah, the problem is, if he really wants to make a frame and match-winning break here, he'd do with potting the pink into the green pocket, and that is a tough pot at this stage. Pink spots occupied by the red next to it. If he plays the pink into the centre, he can't hold for a red.
3 hours this session, but as I say, who cares? It's been thrilling viewing. Crowd here, I'm sure. I mean, there'll be Bingham supporters who want him to win it here, but in general, the snooker fans in the crowd, I'm sure, would love to see the excitement of a decider.
Oh, it's awkward cueing as well. He's got to bridge his arm over that red. That doesn't help.
Yeah, and he's potted it but lost his way. Yeah, it doesn't get any easier, this game, Stuart, does it? He's been playing it all his life, and he absolutely loves it. But one thing it isn't is easy.
He was able to make that plant. Oh, what a kiss as well. It's left him beautifully on the blue.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of came to that a bit late, didn't he? He was looking thoroughly disconsolate, and then there it was, and he made it well, and, well, he's looking like a pretty good chance now for the 2015 champion.
13.
Lisowski hoping to get back to the table.
14.
The 5 reds near the black spot. They're all in one another's way, but if Stuart can pot 4 reds and 4 pinks, that would put him 68 points up with just 67 remaining.
21. $27. 28.
Stuart is very well aware of the score and the situation in this frame, but nevertheless he still decided to screw up for the blue.
Up to 3. Up to 4.
Jack Lisowski looking on there. I think he feels that this match is about to slip away from him. He's fought so hard this evening, Jack Lisowski. Shown great courage, great bravery. Stuart Bingham's been hanging on, has he, Dave?
Well, it was a pink to this pocket, wasn't it, in the last frame? He'd won the previous 2 superbly. He got into the lead in the last one. And then he got that additional chance. It didn't go in. Bingham has been cool, though. I thought the clearance he made in the last frame was cool. He's used his experience. And he's edging closer.
Stuart needs the black from this red to be safe.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to put everything into potting it, doesn't he? He's 68 in front, as you say, with 67 on. Yeah, nothing flash. There didn't need to be. So 1 snooker needed. Lisowski looks like he'll get a chance. But, well, of course, earlier on he did very nearly steal a frame, having needed a snooker.
Thank you. 48.
So 68 the lead, a possible 67 on, but he's got him in a snooker. Bingham holding all the cards here. Well, all the cheering on the other side, but obviously we're not quite done here yet. It's been a memorable night in a venue that has had many, and let's hope has many more.
Yes, Jack having to compose himself here. Behind, 67 left, the black tied up.
As quiet as possible,
may try
please.
to do something to develop here.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Well, I'm sure Stuart feels he can risk taking this red on. Not dissimilar to a green that he knocked in. Incredible winning clearance.
Oh, it looked good, didn't it? It looked good. It's not in. How much more drama can be wrung out of this very special evening? Well, it's another chance. You fancy him to pop this, and if he does, it's surely over.
One.
Now comes the victory lap. A well-earned one for Stuart Bingham. He went nearly an hour tonight without potting a ball. Jack Lisowski turned it on for a couple of frames, put him under pressure. But Bingham has responded before now here at the Crucible.
6.
And it's going to be another meeting with Ronnie O'Sullivan, who, of course, he beat on the way to winning the title 9 years ago.
7.
It seems experience is telling here. This year at the Crucible, another former champion is into the quarterfinals. It was a terrific contest, great viewing for the crowd here. Jack Lisowski gave it everything, but it's Stuart Bingham who completes the quarter-final lineup at this year's World Championship. He'll take on Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's absolutely delighted. He's beaten Jack Lisowski by 13 frames to 11.